Hey friends, today I wanted to talk to you about what the lessons actually are inside of the moon circle throughout the year. So let's get into it. For the rest of the year, I want to help you get prepared for 2020. We'll call the next 1 to 2 months leveling because you are leveling up to the place you need to be to make the most of the lunar energy in 2020. Your leveling starts with accessing the courses and the About Me lessons, and then the introduction. These are all about getting you acquainted with moon magic, me, Maggie, and how to use the technology. The next video is about the influence that the zodiac has on the lunar energy, which plays a big role in how the planner and the rituals are structured. We'll talk about the scientific understanding of the moon to add another layer of context to your appreciation of the lunar cycles. I'll help you set up a moon altar, which is a place that you can go to do the rituals in this course, and a place that you can go anytime you want to reconnect with your magic. We'll talk about what is required for your moon magic manifestation through using your planner, setting powerful intentions, and making time and space for ritual. Then we'll discuss the imbalance of the dual energy traditionally known as feminine and masculine, and why I talk about them in less gendered terms. We'll do an overview of moon phase timing, so you'll be ready to start manifesting with the new moon in December. And we'll talk about the names of the full moons, which is what I use to segment the planner. We'll also look at the energy changes of different unique events, such as eclipses and blue moons. And finally, there are lessons about using the mood and period trackers in your planner so that you can track your personal changes throughout 2020. Now, no matter what time of year it is, you can always count on having access to the discussion forum. And you should also know that my inbox is always open to anyone in the moon circle who needs a little bit of extra support or guidance. Throughout the planner, you will find daily information about what is going on in the cosmos, and each cycle consists of one live call at the new moon, which is a great way to build community with other students and to help you stay motivated. And each cycle has a solo ritual at the full moon, so that you can reconnect with yourself and what you truly need from your practice. Now, the birth moon cycle begins with the new moon in Capricorn. We'll talk about the waxing phases, or what it means when the moon is growing. Then, as we approach the new year, we will look at planning your vision for the year with a series of exercises, including 1 day at a time. We'll also do what's called a Witch's Manifesto, which is just a set of agreements that you can make with yourself to help you stay committed with your goals. Then the full moon is in Cancer, and we'll look at what to do during the waning phases, or the time when the moon is getting smaller. And diving deeper is a lesson to tie everything together and get you ready for the next cycle. At the fasting moon, we begin with the new moon in Aquarius. Then we'll go through the solar cycle, through the seasons and the sabbats as we prepare to celebrate Imbolg. The full moon in Leo solo ritual comes next, and we'll look at how to deal with retrograde planets. At this point, you'll have seen 2 cycles, and you might be starting to understand how this energy changes and your unique changes with the moon energy. And so we're going to take a closer look at each of the 8 main moon phases, starting with the new moon as we prepare for the next cycle. The seed moon cycle begins with the new moon in Pisces group ritual, and we'll continue looking closely at each of the 8 phases, starting with the waxing phases, the waxing crescent, the first quarter, the waxing gibbous, and the full moon before the full moon moves into Virgo. There's a lesson on how to celebrate Ostara, or the spring equinox, and then a closer look at the waning phases, the waning gibbous, the last quarter, and the waning crescent. Finally, the dark moon, and what that means for your witchcraft practice. In the flower moon cycle, we begin with the new moon in Taurus, a lesson on celebrating Beltana, the full moon in Scorpio, and a look at how to do self-care in alignment with the moon. And finally, moon magic and how it relates to thought forms. The blessing moon cycle starts with the new moon in Gemini, and then a lesson on the full moon in Sagittarius, a lesson on what affirmations are, a lesson on limiting and empowering beliefs. Finally, we'll look at how to celebrate Litha. During the sun-moon cycle, we begin with the new moon in Cancer. We'll talk about overcoming the opinions of naysayers, the full moon in Capricorn, and a discussion on strategies for raising your vibration, as well as a lesson on what to do with goals and dreams that need a little bit more time than a single lunar cycle. The fruit moon cycle begins with a new moon in Cancer as well. We'll talk about celebrating Lunasa, the full moon in Aquarius, what failure actually means, and a lesson on the importance of an inconsistent practice. In the barley moon cycle, the new moon is in Leo. We'll talk about connecting with your intuition as we prepare for the full moon in Pisces. And then we'll look at decluttering and how that is very helpful for your practice, as well as a lesson on the power of forgiveness and letting go. The harvest moon cycle begins with the new moon in Virgo. We'll talk about celebrating Mabon, or the fall equinox, the full moon in Aries. We'll talk about how perfectionism is sabotaging your dreams, and a look at everyday moon magic, so making moon magic a little bit more practical. In the sorting moon cycle, the new moon is in Libra. We'll look at celebrating Samhain, the full moon in Taurus, and a look at the moon and shadow work. The old moon cycle begins with the new moon in Scorpio. We'll talk about taking a leap of faith and what that means for manifestation. We'll look at the full moon in Gemini, a lesson on connecting with your guides, and how to celebrate Yule. And the last cycle of 2020 is the death moon cycle, which begins with a new moon in Sagittarius, and we'll start to reflect on the year at this point so that you can better prepare for 2021. The full moon is in Cancer, and we'll do a little bit of a discussion about what it means to be part of the Mumbleship program in case you would like to join us there. So that is everything for the year. Remember that this is one new lesson each week. I hope that gives you a good idea about where the moon circle will take you when you enroll, and I hope that you are really excited about joining us, because I know that I'm super excited for this course to get started and for us to start manifesting with the moon energy in 2020.